and the ability of citizens to convert honest labor into improved living standards. This aligns with the series of interventions of this administration to make Nigeria a competitive and safe place for responsible lending and productive consumption. By filling the gap between ambition and access, today is therefore yet another jump to the future, to a world we cannot afford to occupy without readiness. The policy choices of His Excellency, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, resound with belief in the place of consumer credit. We cannot truly improve the quality of life of Nigerians, stem corruption, and strengthen our economy unless we establish the connection between access to capital and dignity, stability, and productivity. A civil servant who earns honestly does not have to chase sudden wealth just to buy a vehicle, or save for 10 years to buy one. A young professional should not remain in darkness simply because solar power must be paid for all at once. This is why we welcome structured consumer credit. It allows us to live with dignity through steady income, not desperation. And in doing so, it reduces the pressures that often translate to hardship. It was for this reason that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu directed the establishment of Credit Corps. First, to build the infrastructure that allows lenders to trust borrowers with their own funds. Second, to provide catalytic wholesale capital that drives down the cost of individual credit, especially of vulnerable groups, and to provide credit guarantees to committed financial institutions via Credit Corps' portfolio company, the Nigerian Credit Guarantee Company. And third, to reorient Nigerians away from an age-old cultural aversion to credit that has held back progress. Ultimately, these critical jobs of Credit Corps will enable access to consumer credit to at least 50% of working Nigerians by 2030. In just 1 year, Credit Corps has begun executing aggressively against its mission. More than 200,000 Nigerians have accessed over 37 billion naira in consumer credit, over half of them first-time borrowers, enabling mobility, digital access, clean energy, home improvements, and life essentials. Through partnerships with 35 financial institutions, expanding responsible lending, consumer credit is becoming more accessible and more trusted. This is a very important and catalytic start. The corporation's programs such as the Youth Credit for Youth, including NYSC members, Power House 774, which delivers credit-backed energy for rural women, and the 10,000 Women in Mobility Initiative are enabling young Nigerians, women and households across the country to move forward with confidence. These efforts have been delivered with discipline, reflected in 0% non-performing loans, demonstrating the strength of the systems built and the integrity of Nigerian borrowers. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, consumer credit is not simply a financial product. It is national economic infrastructure. It strengthens financial inclusion, expands opportunity, and supports President Tinubu's vision of Nigeria becoming a $1 trillion economy built on economic expansion and prosperity that is a lived experience of Nigerians. Today's inauguration of this board marks an important step in accelerating the future and success of this institution. And I must emphasize that your roles are not ceremonial. You are custodians of its mission. You are entrusted with ensuring that this corporation remains faithful to its mandate as given by Mr. President and operates with discipline, transparency, and integrity. You must uphold the highest ethical standards and observe the public service rules, your board charter, and all governance frameworks guiding this institution. You must ensure accountability in every decision, stewardship in the use of public resources, and fidelity to the vision that gave birth to this corporation. The long-term strength of this institution will depend on your vigilance and your integrity, sacrifice, and commitment. The progress achieved so far shows what is possible. With sound governance and continued discipline, Credit Corps will remain just not a flagship of our government, but the cornerstone of Nigeria's effort to expand opportunity and radically improve the quality of life of our people. It is therefore my honor, on behalf of His Excellency, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, President and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, to formally inaugurate the board of the Nigeria Consumer Credit Corporation, Credit Corps. Thank you, and God bless us all.